Okay. Hopefully this is a bit more stable. Oh, yes, that is much better already. Okay. Finally. Hello, everybody. Welcome back and happy, finally, Seer Saturday. And welcome to the new PC setup. It's going to be a little different. I know visually it's not as sharp as my Mac setup, but we will work this out. This is about 80% where I want it to be, but this is pretty nice because at least I got like my chat like right in front of me. And I admit this is kind of like opposite day a little bit because I'm used to it being mirrored. But on the other hand, though, to make this a bit more convenient for you guys to be able to like see what the card actually is and read the text, I'll do this for now. Plus, I mean, I edit my own photos too, so I'm kind of used to seeing myself mirrored. Not mirrored, but like not mirrored. But it's gonna feel really weird, I gotta say, like seeing myself like this, because I mean, I'm so used to like mirroring my camera, which I still might do, but for right now, we're working with what we're working with. And today it is very special for me because a little earlier today, my school celebrated my 15th year anniversary of my graduation. It was really cool. I got to see some of my old classmates as well as some young alums. And got to see my music teacher again, which was pretty cool. And just all this good stuff. Yeah, people just couldn't believe that it was like 15 years already. I certainly can't believe it. I don't feel it. I was even chatting as much like during yesterday's cocktail hour because my school makes it an entire weekend where on Friday we have like drinks and hors d'oeuvres, and then Saturday we do a mass because it's a Catholic school, followed by a brunch, pretty nice brunch, and then a tour of the school to show people like any updates we've done on the campus. And quite a bit has changed in my school, but in some other ways it hasn't changed that much. So, excuse me, it's been pretty interesting. But yeah, I went to a school called Ursuline Academy, and right now they are trying to fundraise for an update for their performing arts center. It is in really desperate need of an update. It's been desperate need of an update since I even attended the school. So if y'all want to contribute, let me know. I will find some way to get something together. They are about halfway towards their goal. But even if like our collective can only do just a drop in the bucket, it's better than nothing. And it will support future women's talent, girls and women's talent, because it's an all-girls school. So any way you can help out, I would be very glad to. But anyway, I'm just glad to be back here. And as you can see, there's a bunch of new stuff. I actually have like a reel for all my social media now, which is really cool. And yeah, I put my chat towards this way. Feels weird trying to point this way. I'm so used to pointing this way, but like this way. So yeah, I've been updating quite a bit. So I've been taking over the past few weeks to update stuff, and oh, my chat's still disappearing. I set it up to make sure it didn't disappear, but it's okay. It's okay. I still got the chat on my side too, so we'll fix that. We'll fix this in a little bit, like as I go. But without further ado, let us go ahead and get started with this party, shall we? I'm just glad to be here, honestly. Just glad to be back. All right, so let me get my queue up, because that's still something I have to like pull up separately regardless. And now I finally understand why Tantalus Studios was all like back when we were collabing on on Barony, he was just so shocked about like, what? How are you doing so without a mouse? Short answer, I was a cheap nerd. I could not afford a mouse back then. Long answer, it's because the touchpad actually isn't too bad on my Mac at least, but on my on this computer, however, it's so jank. It's so jank. Like, I accidentally started the stream while I was still setting up, and then I saw like Seribot in the chat. I was like, Seribot, wait, why is Seribot showing up now? And then I looked, I was like, oh no, it started, it started the stream, so I had to turn it off. Kel was one of the first people to tune in. So I was like, I'm still setting up stuff, please stand by. And then I tune it, I jump it again, and I remembered, oh yeah, I still need to like fix the FPS. So I was like, okay, I'm almost there. Please be patient with me. I'm almost there. And then I finally fixed it. I need to fix the chat because I turned off the 30-second disappearing thing. I need to fix that. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. But it also means I get to do a lot more. There's like a huge library of games that just opened up thanks to this PC. So again, shout out to Tantalus Studios. Like, he's a real one. He supported me with this. So yeah, get ready for some new games coming up pretty soon on this laptop. Some games I've really wanted to play on the channel for a very long time that I just wasn't able to until now. So look forward to that. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the readings, because I know y'all have been looking forward to it. I certainly have. So I'm going to pull up my Discord for anybody who wants to do like more in-depth stuff. But of course, I got my chat open and ready to go. So if anybody's got any questions, feel free to do so. And speaking of, Sugar Plums is first on the queue. So go ahead and send me your Discord message, Sugar Plums, and we will get started. But yeah, it's going to be back. Bad news is my Wi-Fi has been down for the past week, so that's why, this past week, so that's why you haven't seen anything gaming-wise, you haven't seen anything working-wise. But the good news is I did find a workaround. Thankfully, Xfinity is pretty popular here, so I bought myself a pass for a month, so that'll at least give me a bit more time to get the Wi-Fi fixed. So once the Wi-Fi gets started back up, we will resume the console gaming stuff, as well as any other games that we need to tie some loose ends up. Obviously, there are some games that we're gonna take a bit to get to. Here's my gaming setup, by the way, if you're curious. Well, a little bit more off my recording setup here. Forgot to put my camera on this one. But anyway, these are the games that I'm planning on doing at some point. So I'm going to cover Stronghold. Danjara Trials of Fear Edition is currently on hold until I get my computer a bit more emptied, my Mac a little bit more emptied out. So that way, at least I know for sure it's not going to collapse every time I try to stream. So yeah, that's what's been going on. That's what's been going on. Anyway, it's just so good to be back, and thanks for the compliments in the hair. Shout out to my cousin from the UK across the pond. She's been pretty awesome. I miss her already. She just flew back, so. But yeah, life's been good. Life's been really good lately. And, oh yeah, speaking of stuff, tomorrow. And I should have updated it on the thing. Hold on. Let me see if I can get the... Can I get the preview thing? Studio mode. There we go. That's it. I can do that. I know how to do this. This stuff is not too different. Okay. Yeah, I could fix stuff. Hey. And then... There we go. Fixed it. Okay, there we go. All right. I feel good now. I'm getting my sea legs back, as you can probably tell. I'm working on it, but we will get there. We will get there, my friends. But it's just nice to have a setup that actually works right now. And I think you'll be able to tell like small things about like which one is the Mac setup and which one's the PC setup. It's gonna be a lot of fun to do that. To show people like, hey, this is what I do. This is my thing. And there's more stuff coming up too, so keep an eye out for that as well. I'm always thinking of new things, so the one thing that you will not be on this channel is bored. That's for sure. That is one thing you will not be on this channel is bored. I'm thinking of new stuff all the time. Yeah, I gotta fix my embed real quick, so my things don't disappear every few seconds. Okay. Let me fix my embed. Okay, hopefully that should make it stick. But yeah, how's everybody doing this weekend? Okay. Got it. Managing. Understandable. Life can be like that. That was me for like the beginning of the week for the most part. Like it was just me just managing what I can. But yeah, I feel like this latter half of the week has been pretty good so far. I feel happy with that, so yeah, not too bad. But okay, so Sugar Plums, I got your message here. So, got some party stuff going on. Do you mind if I read the context, Sugar Plums? I like asking. I know like you've been okay with it up until this point, but I always like to ask for consent. You know what I mean? Okay, not out loud. Got it. I see. Okay. All right. So, yeah. I see. But yeah, I know how. Like if you feel like you've like screwed up on something, like you just overthink it, like thinking that like God, what am I doing? I kind of had a little bit of a moment of that yesterday with my reunion because I talked so much about my tech job, but in particular the celebrities I met through my tech job instead of just the tech work that I did. And I was like, God, what am I doing? I feel like I'm just overcompensating so ridiculously. And the one high school friend that I came across, we've been friends since we were kids. Like, we've been friends since elementary school. So I was like, why am I just being so insecure right now? And I kind of got a hint why today. Why that was kind of happening. I got a bit of a hint yesterday, but I got a further hint today. And yeah, like there's just there's that first part of like, okay, this happened. So you kind of have to just let go that this is a moment. But then the second thing you have to remember is like, there are people that do care about you as you are genuinely. And it's important to embrace them. Embrace them back, especially if they've been out of your life for a while. Like this friend that I had not seen her in person for a very, very long time. Like it had been 14 years since I'd seen her in person. Okay, answering the question of how you've been. But yeah, it's been spring warm here too. It's nice. I like it. Okay, the messages are staying. Good. I updated the embed correctly. Great. Okay. But yeah, the first off I can really say, especially in context to the one person you come across, is there is such thing as toxic humility, and I agree with your assessment. Oh, it disappeared. Anyway, it disappeared again. I'll figure it out. I'll fix it before the next stream. But anyways, I agree with your assessment. The first thing you should never do, you should never lower yourself to somebody else, like lower yourself or like put yourself, downgrade yourself to the ground to be liked or have a certain degree, right? And yeah, that's important. That's important to like keep that confidence about you. And yeah, secondly, especially when it comes to old friends, is there's a bit of a balance that you need to have, especially if it's like people that you've known like since you were children or since you've been in a critical point in your life. The second thing you have to remember is be patient with yourself, especially in the periods that you do screw up, because they will understand that you've changed since you last met them. Even fundamentally, whether appearance-wise or characteristics-wise, you're still the same. There's still some things that have evolved with being an adult. I certainly noticed this with the graduate, like the alums I came across. I came across so many people from the class 2016. They're only 5 years apart from me, and the school I went to was attached to a middle school and elementary school. So it was like this whole life, like pre-K to high school kind of school that I attended. And some of them had seen me back when I was in middle school. Got it. Got it. So these ones are new people. Even more so, you should be very gentle with yourself, because especially if they give an indication that they want to hang out with you again afterwards, you're completely fine. You're fine. And especially after a trigger, be really patient with yourself, especially, because the last thing you want is to resurge, like, seed in what the trigger was. And so, let me stop talking and start getting to the cards, because, like, I know y'all enjoy my stories, but sometimes I gotta get straight to the job. That's how, that's how off my routine I've been, especially with, like, having a computer functional again. Because like before, as y'all been seeing, I've been doing more of like iPad stuff, which is more low frills, which I still need to upload onto my YouTube channel. In fact, that reminds me, after this stream's over, there's like so many Jack and Daxter episodes I need to back up on the channel, on my YouTube channel, before they get deleted. Thanks. Thank you. But I also need to like make sure I can like condense as much as I can, so that way we don't lose so much reading time, and also like ads popping up too. There's that. I have to think about that pretty often as well. But I will keep telling the stories if you find they've been helpful. But yeah, I know people especially feel a certain way about high school reunions, especially here in the United States, if you come from a certain background. And there's something that my dad told me that, like, if just all the way back to my sophomore, like my either middle school or my sophomore year of high school, that he told me that made me like this thing that I surprisingly held on to this day, which is you might have a harder time hanging out with these people, hang out with the people that you care about back in these schools, like in a more regular basis, outside of the classroom, because, well, they have conservative, like, they're more likely to, especially in prep schools, they're more likely to have like conservative parents, and especially Catholic prep schools and a PWI at that, way more likely to get conservative parents. But then wait until they become adults, and then it's a lot easier to hang out with these people at that point, because not only will they be a little bit more liberated from their parental perspectives, but also they've got a few years on them. They might be a bit more relaxed. For all you know, they may be more fun to hang out with as full-fledged adults compared to when we were teens. I see. Yeah. Take your time, Kel. You got some time. But I pulled 3 cards for you, Sugar Plums. Let's see what we got here as to what other advice we can give you for the situation. Anyways, so first off, we got Temperance. So that pretty much kind of covers the patience angle that we were talking about here, a balancing of forces. So already some of the stuff I've been telling you kind of already is falling into that. So that's really, so at least like I kind of got a bit of a divine confirmation, so to speak, that there's a bit of a equilibrium that you have to do, especially with like when you come across like new versus old friends. So there's a bit of a call for self-restraint when it comes to dealing with this kind of stuff, as well as harnessing the forces you do have within you and directing it towards a purpose. Which, based on what you sent me on Discord, you kind of did that with the one thing you did that you described, but you probably just need a bit more practice to figure out how to harness said forces. So be really gentle with yourself right now, because this sounds like new territory that you've been going through here at this time. So it's okay. It's okay. And rather than kind of like going like polar, bring it together, actually. Bring in this, like, work with the shadow and the light. So let me see what these other 2 cards say. And also let me know how I'm sounding, by the way, because I do have my mic, but I also know that like sometimes like the sound delays or it goes a little fast. Yeah. Like, especially if like certain behaviors are triggering, it's important to remember that these are not the same people. So all the more reason to be really gentle with yourself especially when you're making new friends. I'm so much trying to tell myself that, like, even if you come across like old people, like people that you knew in the past, but several years later, it's important to remember that like y'all are not the same people that you were, like, exactly the same people you were when you were kids or when you were in high school. You have to open up to the fact that like the possibility that there's some difference with the people that you love and you care about. So it's important to like keep yourself open to how a person could be as they are in that moment. And everybody has their shadows and their lights, and our job is to embrace both within ourselves and with other people, which is very, very difficult. Very difficult, but I feel like it can be done. So let's go through these other cards here. So we got 2. We got 5 of Cups and 7 of Wands. Let me zoom in a little bit. Kind of nice to be able to actually read the text, for you guys to actually read the text on this. But anyways, 5 of Cups and 7 of Wands. So 5 of Cups, it's like it kind of gets to like almost a myopic vision, especially with the way it gets very circular with the way the card's interpreted in the middle here. And it's about regret, which, considering the message you sent me, it makes a lot of sense why that regret kind of came up. And then the 7 of Wands here, usually when I come across this card, it usually comes across as a defense in what you believe in, like having to protect something very important to you. And there's part of that happening with what you described in your message. But then also, I'm kind of getting... I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I read your message, so maybe there's a little bit of bias here, so please feel free to correct me. But there's almost a bit of trigger finger in this case, where it was like, pull out the machine gun, bang, 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 like the moment you see something that doesn't vibe with you. And there's a bit of a warning of watching out who you pull this out on, especially if it's towards a person who really doesn't deserve that. And I feel like pulling out one more just to get a bit more clarity in terms of like actionable advice. So, my beautiful cards, can you tell me what advice you can give me to Sugar Plums that she can act upon? And if it gets cut by an ad, don't worry. This will be recorded, so feel free to watch it back. Or just jump on my YouTube channel, DJ MK Off the Air. I keep forgetting what order this carousel was in, so I apologize. But jump on there and you can like roll it back. Yep, this channel here. There we go. Roll here. There's no ads on there. And you could just watch it back to the point where the ad cuts. That's for everyone, really. Okay. So, the piece of advice that I got... yeah, it can be really hard to believe. Like, I've had moments even with the people that I've known for even just 3 or 4 years. And it's kind of like this part of like this dissonance of, wait, people actually like me? And it's like, yeah, they show up, they message, they do all these things, and they're okay with hanging out. So it's important to remember that people do care for you, right? And the piece of advice that I got, that I pulled out, is the eight of Cups, which is, it's a call for you to go emotionally deeper. Maybe take some time to meditate on why these moments really hit you so hard. Because sometimes logically you might know the answer, but it's another thing to know it up here, but then another thing to know it like when you're firsthand in the situation, like what I mentioned with the reunion, and another thing in here when you meditate on it and you allow the answers to come up. There's this book that I have been using for quite some time, almost a decade at this point. It's called Goddess Reclaimed, by my meditation mentor, Simon Corral. And she has this exercise where you go down the 7 doors of Inanna to meet Ereshkigal at the bottom. And it's this pretty intense 7 chakra journaling exercise. And by the time you get to the bottom, there's no pretense left. You're just being honest with you, yourself, and your shadow self, and your inner child, teen, your inner younger self at the bottom. And you are embracing said younger aggrieved self at the bottom. And you are coming back a changed person. not needing the pretense anymore. And I guess, like, if you don't feel like getting the book, the other equivalent that I've been taught by Jackie from Coventry Creations, like those famous Campbell company. The other thing you could do is asking yourself 3 to 5 whys. Because by the time you get to maybe like the third or fourth why, it gets clearer as to why you might need to do something. This is for anything, really. If you want to do a manifestation, if you want to do a candle spell, if you want to do a prayer, etc., if you want to do something very effectively, ask yourself 3 to 5 whys. And the odds are good. What you started off as the reason why you might have wanted to do something might not be what you actually did it as. Yeah, I'll forward you the book. I'll forward you what I said earlier on there. And also the reading too. But yeah, ask just like maybe like 3 to 5 whys, because sometimes you might find a deeper reason. So, for example, if you wanted to do a manifestation, for, let's see, and peeps, feel free to clip this too. I keep forgetting there's clips on Twitch, so feel free to add some clips too if you want. But yeah, when you ask yourself why, oftentimes the first answer might be an addition, but not the core thing that's going on. And then you go under and you find what the actual thing is. Like, so for example, say you're looking for abundance, like financial abundance. You're feeling really stuck, and you think initially, oh, it's because I have this bill. It's because I have these things that I need to take care of, like the really pedestrian answers at first. Agile. Okay. Don't worry. For those who are subscribed, feel free to put a clip of this, or just jump on YouTube. But anyway, right, abundance. So while everybody's off at Ad Church, or Ad Temple, I forgot, Saturday's Ad Temple, Sunday's Ad Church. I'll keep going through. I'll repeat all this for those who are not subbed. But essentially, if, like, let's say you're asking for abundance, and you may initially, okay, you're back now. Great. Okay. So, hello, Momo. And I got my water right here. So for those who are watching the on-demand footage, I am so sorry that I'm repeating myself so many times. But anyway, I was trying to get to the 3 whys, as well as that thing that I did with Sima's book. But essentially, let's say you're asking for abundance. You might go through maybe like 2 or 3 whys, and you pretty much get to the obvious, oh, it's because I have these bills I gotta pay. It's because I got these things I gotta take care of, etc. That's like, those are all valid whys. Don't discount them. But as you go deeper, you kind of realize, like, oh, there's something underneath this. Probably some adverse experience when you were growing up, or just not wanting or some healing that you need, or maybe what you actually want, which the abundance will provide, is security or freedom. And so there's the aim of your work, actually, is to figure out ways that you can bring that security or that freedom to you. Abundance can be one manifestation of that, but it's not the core manifestation. Core manifestation is you feeling secure, you feeling confident, you feeling free to pursue what it is you want. And the abundance, like the financial abundance or some other abundance of opportunity, etc., can be an expression of that.